Hello, good evening everybody, how are you all doing? So nothing has really happened too much with Bitcoin. So join me today, we'll take a look at Bitcoin to see how it's been trending. This November the 13th, it's about 6 p.m. here in Manitoba, Canada, Central Standard Time. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. And first of all, let's always take a look at the 24-hour trending volume. When you guys compare it to a coin such as NEO right now, that's getting huge surges almost to the double digits right now. But of course, Bitcoin is just stale and going to the sideways movement right now. So taking a look at the 24-hour volume, I would guess that it's dwindling. A little bit slow right now. Coin market cap. 1 second, it's still loading actually, that's very odd. So here we go. So for the past 3 days, we've been getting about $20 billion in 24-hour volume. Today we're on the lower side. We've dropped about 12.5%. Actually, we've dropped about 10% here total, around there. Now it's at $17.5 billion. So are we reaching support, or are people just not wanting to buy at these particular price points? Right now I'm fascinated by NEO because we have gained some monstrous profits and percentages from this coin, rallying a hard 100% since October the 23rd, and now it's rallied another 30% in just a few short days here in 4 days. It's beautiful. And it's also at $13.45. That's where this particular resistance was, and that's where this particular resistance is as well. They both have the exact same high on these candles that's going to be closing right away. So are we going to get a correction anytime soon? Don't know. Hoping so. And I'm much so very ready. So let's take a look at Bitcoin now. I want to make note that the 6-hour chart is my favorite chart right now because of the way everything below this particular white line is considered a bear trapped region, all the way down to 85.66, which is a range of about 2%. Okay, so now we're getting many mixed signals. So let's walk down the line and go from the monthly chart. Monthly chart, still the exact same, no monstrous movements. Bitcoin has been sideways for a few days now. It's ranging up to 8,800, and by the way, this is on Binance. Okay, if you take a look here on Bitfinex, it's actually attempting to rally slightly right now. Bitfinex is about $35 different than Binance. But if you look on Bitfinex right here, you see that it's just like Binance, where it's attempting to break to the upside now. Something is going to happen and reach a dramatic conclusion. I'm guessing in less than 12 hours. We're gonna find an apex that's going to break one side or the other. So these are the 3 different types of triangles, right? Just to refresh it to everybody. I know it might be so redundant, but you know what? Refreshers are really important, so we just understand some of the strategies that we'll be employing, right? So this is 3 different type of triangles. This one is always pushing down. The bulls are pushing down as hard as they, or sorry, the bears are pushed down as hard as they can, and they're attacking and they're making ground, getting lower lows, or sorry, lower highs each time. But the bulls are only defending. They can't even push it up high. So descending triangles have a tendency to break down more than up. Whereas this one over here, it's the opposite. The bulls are pushing up, and they're preventing the bears from getting lower lows. They're getting higher lows every single time, and the bears are only defending at a particular price point, and they're not making any ground whatsoever. So eventually the bulls will prevail. That's just basic principles of these triangles, right? And here we got a symmetric triangle where there's going to be an equivalent amount of tension between the bulls and the bears, and at the apex something could absolutely happen. And this is apex, that's the apex there, where it could happen before or after. Okay, so I'm going to clear all that up. And we see that just on the short time frame, right? We see that something is happening right now for Bitcoin on Binance and every other exchange. So now we'll be looking at, I showed you guys a symmetric triangle on Bitfinex there. Here you can identify it as well. You can identify in many ways, however you like. Right now, it does look like there is an attempt to break to the upside, and we see how strong 8800 resistance is. It's just having so much pain breaking out of it. And this resistance has been established for a fairly long time now, I'd say. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about this range, okay, where we didn't break below here, okay, we didn't break below 8750 ranges, and then we finally just bounced out. And when we broke below it, we had so much trouble, right? We've broke below it, we finally bounced one time right around here, okay, went back up slightly, but we broke it with conviction to 8600, and now it tries to break above the 8800 region. So you have to respect this entire resistance slash support all the way here. That would be a median, I would say, or somewhat like that. You can consider it, sure. And right here is just a very gut-wrenching point that has a lot of resistance and has a lot of support. And there's a lot of tension between these bulls and bears right now. And I can feel it in my bones, just based on all the confluent reasons that something could and will happen soon. And I'm very excited to be a part of crypto. Would you guys like to know the most effed up coincidence in the world? I gotta segue into something personal, okay? Today's actually an anniversary day for something very funny. Let me show you how ridiculous this anniversary is. So first of all, do you guys remember how difficult trading was in October? Trading in October was very difficult, okay? Because we were in such a silly range. This spike barely counted because nobody really caught it. But we were trending in a range of 8% for how many months? First 2 months. It was very, very difficult for me to trade there, right? XRP was one of the best ones. And then I was waiting for this to break down. I was waiting for months and I was ready, man. And then it was the day that it happened to break down, or sorry, the day that my ex-girlfriend landed in France, right, was November the 13th, right here. And the day after, the market tanks. And I was waiting for that for months to play that. But that's not the funny thing. The funny thing is this. Watch, it's gonna blow you guys away, okay? Okay, watch this. We landed back in Canada December the 12th, okay? I got back to Winnipeg, she went back to Toronto, okay? And then we agreed she would come back to Winnipeg December the 16th. And the day she came back to Winnipeg, one day after, again, is when the bull market began. And I was just waiting for that, but I was traveling. So that's kind of one of the funniest coincidences in my life, I think. Where one day after, the market tanks, and then one day after, something significant happens in my life, the market changes again, right? So I vowed to myself to never miss these types of opportunities again. And I don't want to be one of those people that said, I saw that coming. I want to be a professional trader that's going to seize these moments as they come. And there are many opportunities to seize soon. And I think that crypto is here to stay. The adoption rate is insane compared to anything else out there. There's that video floating around of Bill Gates and David Letterman. David Letterman was interviewing Bill Gates, and he was asking him what the internet could do, and he was making like really funny references about how yeah, the internet, you can store things on it, and imagine listening to a ball game on there. And then Letterman was like, well, have you ever heard of a radio? And then Bill Gates was like, yeah, but you can actually play it back later at any time you want. And then Letterman was like, have you ever heard of a tape recorder? Right? When you think of things like that, right? It's it's just kind of funny how quickly adoption is coming along for crypto and how regulated it's being as well. So I'm really excited to be a part of this. Anyways, enough with that kind of talk. So back to Bitcoin. Right now on the daily, we are still trending exactly here, okay, right at the daily, the 200 moving average. The sandwich is getting real, guys. The range is getting very, very tight here. How's the weekly looking? That's my ringtone. Yeah, sorry about getting interrupted there with the phone call. My friend's actually coming over. I'm gonna make her an amazing dinner tonight. Had to get changed a little bit, had to freshen up. So yeah, I can't be too long because she's actually over in about 20 minutes. So the sandwich is getting real, and that's what I was referring to, okay? This 200 moving average is acting as a very strong support right now. So what are the chances of us breaking to the downside? Couldn't tell you. I'm saying it's 50-50 right now, okay? But it does seem like if you take a look at the histogram and the MACD, right, on the daily chart right here, we're still curving to the downside. We need 1 or 2 days of a reversal in terms of the momentum to see if we get a higher low, right, where it becomes shorter. And then I would be much more convicted of an uptrend. The weekly right now is only like a few days in, so it's only 3 days in, right? So you look at the weekly right now, and of course we find that hard support above 8K still that we've been talking about. Yeah, you look on the 2-day and you see a rejection candle to the upside, right? Bull's attempt to go to the upside. It's been sideways for so long that there's only so much to talk about, right? That's why it's kind of pulling teeth right now, just kind of looking at the charts and grinding it down. The daily, we stay above, okay? Here's the significant thing. The daily, we stay above the 200 moving average and below the 55 moving average, right? We're sandwiched in between it. But on the 12-hour chart, we're actually below both of them already. So in the 12-hour, it's looking quite bearish. Then you move down to the 6-hour as well. We're about to get the death cross here, perhaps. So we're going to get a reaction very soon, sometime here. Inevitable, in my opinion. Yeah, then we keep going down. Let's see how the MACD is here. We're gaining, it looks like it's curving to the upside, right? 1, 2, and that's the one that we should have bought on, right there. So there's a chance for us to have a really nice rally if this is the actual support. This Dragonfly Doji on the 6-hour chart was really powerful. So right now it's just a matter of just chilling and waiting. Yeah, so now I'm just looking down the chart here, 4-hour chart, looking pretty decent right now. Histogram is steadily going to the upside here. Our side is very steady as well. Lots of mixed signals. When we take a look at the, I gotta refresh this, my mistake. You guys like this type of music when I'm playing or when I'm doing technical analysis? It's very relaxing, isn't it? I think it should be. Yeah. So now back to Bitcoin here. So 6-hour once again, right? Death cross potential. 4-hour, we're far away from it right now. Here was a golden crossover, but we get a death cross at downside. So we've been sideways for so long that there's not a lot of information, and we just have kind of what we have already. I just see it hammering above this region, and it's just unable to do anything right now. Bitfinex is the exact same thing, right? Where we thought, oh, it got to 87.20. I know it doesn't seem like much, but these small ranges, I'm always paying attention to the price action. And then when you look at here, for example, you see a huge 10 count there, and you gotta wonder what's up with that. You know, it looks like there's a lot, but there's really not. There's not a lot of volume right now at all. So now I take a look at, for example, a 4-hour chart, and it does look bearish, right? There's no denying that. But you go to like a 30-minute chart, and you see that there's a possible symmetric triangle that could easily break to the upside. So I'm just waiting to see how this is going to react here on every single exchange the exact same way. This is going to be a critical point, and I think that we have about 11 hours. Actually, I'm probably guessing between 3 to 9 hours, something is going to happen, and I don't think that we will be sidewaysing anymore. So we have to give it some time for an Elliott wave analysis. So on a 30-minute chart, it looked like that, right? It looked like an ascending symmetric triangle. If you go to a 20-minute chart, you can even argue, hey, that's an ascending triangle, not a symmetric triangle. Right? There's many ways. If you argue it, even from a 10-minute chart, you can say that as well. So I see it more like a continuation right now to the downside, possibly. See, on the 1 hour, it's fighting to get above the 55 moving average. Do you see this? So, you know what? I can honestly pick apart this chart to death. Right now, this is the consensus. There's no clear and conclusive confluent reasons for it to lean one way or the other. That is what I would say. There's not enough data. There's what we do and what we do see and what we can't acknowledge is that there's a huge battle waging on between the bears and the bulls right now. Okay, right? Do you guys see my big bear in the background? I put him on the ground by the fireplace. He's 7 feet tall. He's pretty cool. I'm gonna embarrass my friend here when she comes in. Watch this, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna embarrass her at all. But anyways, I'm gonna end this video now, so have yourselves a great night, guys. So once again, I'm gonna conclude that there is no clear direction. We have to give it more time. But what we do know is that 8,400 is a very strong support. And what we also know is that the bears right now, the bulls right now are definitely attempting to push it to the upside based on so many things, such as trying to get it above the 55 EMA on the 1 hour, a possible symmetric triangle. Depending on interpretation, we could be seeing an ascending triangle as well. But right now, as it stands, there's no clear direction, and I'm entirely neutral, biased right now. More so leaning towards the bullish side right now. But I have to take off now. Okay, guys, this was absolutely perfect timing. So have yourselves a great night, and I will give you an evening summary wrap up and a market, just kind of a market summary, maybe in about 5-6 hours or something like that. Okay, so I hope you guys are enjoying my morning market scans and market summaries. I think it's a really good way to get into an awesome routine to just gain some discipline, and just a routine that's going to help you navigate through this course of trying to find hot picks for the day or how you have volatility, right? It's always good to get a good gauge of how these alts are reacting, because it can formulate a consensus for BTC dominance, etc. And right now, I'm on the fence between alt season or BTC season and who's going to be hedging against who, what coins are going to be hedged into if BTC ends up rallying. It's a pretty interesting time right now, but like I've mentioned for December 17, right? In 2017 to December 17, that's where the bull rally ended, and then 2018, that's where it began. So this year is a toss-up, heads or tails, to see what's going to happen. So anyways, have yourselves a great night. I'll see you in about 5 hours, guys. Be safe, be careful, stick to your stop loss. Bye.